Welcome to Evolution Tech, where technology meets tomorrow. Our channel stands as a beacon for enthusiasts, innovators, and dreamers, leading the charge into the ever-evolving landscape of electric vehicles, EVs, and groundbreaking green technologies. A growing number of consumers are eager to buy a battery electric vehicle, especially if certain concerns related to EV ownership are addressed, such as creating greater access to charging, extending vehicle range, and lowering purchase prices, according to findings from the largest ever nationally representative survey from Consumer Reports. The survey of 8,027 U.S. adults found differences across racial/ethnic and income groups in terms of how people perceive EVs and the potential purchase barriers. Almost half of respondents also reported being unaware of existing federal and state incentives that would defray the purchase price of many EVs, sometimes up to $7,500 for the federal credit. Knowledge that might sway someone to make an EV purchase. With improvements to the nation's charging networks, more lower-priced EVs coming to market, and increasing range from battery technology advances, many barriers to EV ownership are showing signs of breaking down over time. The survey results bear this out. We found that 14% of American drivers say they would definitely buy or lease an electric-only vehicle if they were to buy a vehicle today. That's up markedly from the 4% who said the same in a 2020 nationally representative survey from CR of 3,392 licensed U.S. drivers. Overall, our latest survey found that more than a third of Americans would definitely or seriously consider buying or leasing an electric-only vehicle if they were to buy a vehicle today. Among their reasons, more than 3 in 10 U.S. adults say that it costs less to charge an EV than to refuel a gas car, 33%. Overall lifetime costs are lower, 31%, and maintenance costs are lower, 28%. The survey shows that there is clear interest among Americans in reducing cost for transportation and lowering their environmental impact, says Keenta Warren, Ph.D., CR's Associate Director of Sustainability Policy. It underscores some key concerns, but fortunately, many of these barriers to owning a battery electric vehicle EV can be addressed through experience and education. There's no denying soaring demand for electric vehicles and hybrids. Gas prices are at record highs, and Americans increasingly are turning to electric vehicles. EV sales rose 76% in the first quarter, compared with the same period last year. According to Cox Automotive, an information and services company, EVs promise reduced operating costs, and there are more choices on the market, with more models from various categories on the way. Consumer Reports conducted the survey to better understand demand and awareness of battery EVs and low-carbon fuels. It was partially funded by the environment-focused philanthropic group Breakthrough Energy and the Energy Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to a safe, equitable economy powered by green energy. It was fielded Jan 27 to February 18, 2022, when the national average price for gasoline ranged from $3.34 to $3.52 per gallon. The price of gas has surged to a national average of about $5 per gallon for regular as of late June. The survey results illustrate an EV landscape in transition, as more Americans become aware of the purchase option in a societal atmosphere of increasing concern about climate change and the role fossil fuels are playing. CR is committed to supporting sustainable transportation, reducing harmful emissions, and saving drivers money. So much so that fuel economy is a key factor in the overall score that we give to every car we purchase and test. As a result, the overall scores elevate good all-around models that are energy efficient, helping shoppers make their purchase decisions and encouraging automakers to prioritize energy efficiency. CR also launched a Green Choice designation last year using vehicle emissions data from the Environmental Protection Agency, highlighting the vehicles that are among 20% lowest contributors to smog forming and greenhouse gas emissions for their model year. Americans who have experience with EVs, including simply being a passenger in one, are more likely to be interested in purchasing one overall. Only 7% of Americans have driven one in the past 12 months, whereas 20% of those who say they would definitely buy/lease an EV as their next vehicle have driven one. This makes sense because EVs are relatively new and in some ways quite different from a traditional gasoline car. Many EVs are enjoyable to drive, with quick, silent acceleration and balanced handling, aided by their large, low-mounted battery, says Gabe Shinhar, Associate Director of Auto Testing at Consumer Reports. In short, they are often quite a treat to drive. Of Americans who said cost-related factors were holding them back from getting an EV, almost 6 in 10 said purchase price was the biggest barrier. Of those, a larger percentage of white, 60%, and English-speaking Asian Americans, 66%, surveyed say purchase price is one of the cost considerations holding them back from getting an electric-only vehicle, compared with Hispanic, 55%, and Black Americans, 46%. The attitude toward purchase price may be influenced by the attention given to pricey models currently on the market from Audi, BMW, Lucid, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Rivian, and Tesla, but mainstream automakers are introducing lower-priced models, including the Kia Niro, Subaru Solterra, and Toyota bZ4X. Some shoppers may be surprised to learn that prices for the Chevrolet Bolt and Bolt UV, Hyundai Kona, and Nissan Leaf have dropped. The 2023 Chevy Bolt now starts at just $26,595, putting it around $20,000 less than the price of the average new car. And for many EVs, the true purchase price may be even less than the sticker price because of federal, state, and even power utility incentives. Almost half of Americans, 46%, are unaware that there are incentives available. Tax rebates and other incentives can reduce the purchase price of EVs by thousands of dollars, says Warren, CR's Associate Director of Sustainability Policy. It can be tricky to determine which incentives are applicable to a given model because federal tax credit eligibility is based on overall sales volume. To make this easier, Consumer Reports Electric Vehicle Savings Finder highlights local and federal incentives and tax rebates based on your zip code and the model you're researching. This feature is part of our free membership at cr.org, requiring just an email address to access. Cost of vehicle ownership. Most EVs are less expensive to own than similar traditional cars, according to Warren, even when factoring a higher purchase price for a comparable gasoline-powered vehicle. The views and concerns vary among different groups of those who say cost-related factors would prevent them from getting an EV. A larger percentage of Black, 54%, and Hispanic, 48%, Americans than white Americans, 37%, say maintenance and repair costs are holding them back. However, a previous study by CR, conducted in 2020, revealed that EV owners spend around half as much on maintenance and repair over the vehicle's typical lifetime as gas-only car owners do, meaning that overnight charging can satisfy most drivers' common needs. Experienced EV owners consider range to be much less of an issue than non-owners, supporting this assertion. Hybrid savings. For those not ready to commit to a full-on EV, hybrids can be a smart alternative and save owners a lot on gas. A hybrid combines a gasoline engine with an electric assist, allowing the powertrain to optimize its operation for maximum fuel economy. With a regular hybrid, the engine and brakes generate electricity, so you never need to plug in the car. As an example, trading in a 2017 Chevrolet Equinox V6 for a 2022 Toyota RAV4 hybrid, another small SUV, could save $1,775 a year in fuel costs. Based on our tests, and gas at $5 per gallon, that's almost $9,000 in fuel savings over 5 years. There is huge potential for low-carbon fuels to power planes, boats, and other transportation for both freight and people. If you gain fresh insights, be sure to show your appreciation by giving this. Subscribe to Evolution Tech and hit the notification bell. Stay tuned for